Choices at times can appear easy, but the consequence of that easy choice can be very hard to live with if that choice is wrong. Good morning and welcome to the show. Let's get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm your host, Danny Graham, and this is my show, The Road to Wisdom. And thank you very much for joining me in this beautiful Monday morning here in the good old state of South Carolina. In case you missed my show on Friday, the word of the day on Friday was absolutes. Absolutes. And then the definition for that word is a value or principle which is regarded as universally valid or which may be viewed without relation to other things. Now, today's word, as you can see right here, is boom, discouragement. Discouragement is the word of the day. And we all have had some form, shape, form, or fashion of being discouraged. And guess what? Let's go ahead and get into it. The definition of discouraged. Well, I put discouragement, but it should be discouraged. Discouraged is having lost confidence or enthusiasm or being disheartened. I'm saying one more time. The definition of discouraged is having lost confidence or enthusiasm and being disheartened. Today's scripture on the word discouraged comes from the book of Psalms, the 34th chapter, the 17th to the 19th verse, and it reads as follows. When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of all. I like that. Say it one more time. The scripture on the word discouraged comes from the book of Psalms, the 34th chapter, the 17th and the 19th verses. And it says, when the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of all. To me, that says, look, if you're righteous, you're doing the right thing, and you're getting disheartened, just lean on the Lord. The Lord be there. He's going to get you out of it. He's not going to put more on you than you can stand. Now, how many of us have been discouraged? We all have been discouraged in our private life, in our professional life, in our spiritual life, in every aspect of our life. We have been discouraged in some shape, form, or fashion. And that's just a normal part of it. Just like I tell you in the past seasons, there are going to be seasons when you go through stuff and everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be lovely. Everything's going to be copacetic. You're just going to be walking down the road like Pharrell because I'm happy and all that kind of stuff. Yep, but then guess what? On the other side, right around that corner, there's going to be some kind of despair, some kind of pain, some kind of illness, some kind of financial situation, some kind of situation at home. And guess what? The same energy you had when you were happy and praising God and everything else, you'll have that same energy when things ain't going your way. And God is going to put that in your life to test you. Also, not only is he testing you, he's making you stronger, because when he finally gets you out of that, you're going to be so much stronger if you do the right thing and pray and ask him and lean on him for help. You're going to be stronger spiritually, mentally. You're also going to be stronger emotionally. So you got to make sure you got to endure that pressure, because I know it can be discouraging when you're doing something, you're doing your best, and you're trying to do everything else and things just ain't working right. I've been there. Believe me, I know I have been there. But prayer got me through it. There was a time when there was some situations with my family, and I was just discouraged and just frustrated. And at the end of my rope, I prayed, and things are better, much better. Now, can they get better? And yes, anything can get better. But I'm telling you, the change is drastic and it's noticeable. So you just got to pray. You just got to put your faith in it. And I know that sometimes that's easier said than done. But like I said, the same energy and the same way we go to church and go to work and go to any other aspect of our life, when things are going good, when you get discouraged and frustrated and angry and mad, you gotta pray even harder, because that's God testing you. That's the enemy messing with you. And if you slide back and you do things out of anger, you do things out of spite, do things petty and all that kind of stuff, then guess what? The enemy has won. So you don't want the enemy to win. So being discouraged is a tool that he uses. He has it in his toolbox, and every so often he doesn't try to crack at you one way and crack at you the other way. It ain't working. He gonna put, oh, discouragement. Let me go ahead and try that. He throws it into the pot, mix it up. You take a sip of it, and guess what? If you ain't strong enough, if you don't have that antidote, you don't have that antibiotic, and the antibiotic is prayer. Jesus is the medicine, but prayer is the tool, is the needle that injects the antibiotic inside, and the antibiotic is Jesus. Antibiotic is Jesus, and prayer is the needle. Prayer is the needle. You put the antibiotic in the needle and you inject it into the body, and that's how you defeat the enemy. If not, guess what? You're gonna get sick. Sometimes people recover from illnesses, sometimes they don't. Sometimes people recover from falling out of grace, and sometimes they don't. So make sure that you use that needle and inject the antibiotic, which is Jesus, to go ahead and ward off that discouragement virus that's in the body. I'm telling you, it's easier said than done. We all have done it. You all have succumbed to it before, but you got to keep fighting it. You got to keep fighting it. There are 5 things to remind you. Just need to remind yourself when you get discouraged. 5 things. The first thing you need to do is say to yourself, this situation I'm going through is tough, but so am I. You gotta be mentally tough. I always strive that to my kids and to my family and stuff. Gotta be mentally tough. Yeah, sometimes things can get you down. You look at stuff and you feel like the world's against you, but you gotta be mentally tough. If you be mentally tough, then you can overcome a lot of stuff. You have mental toughness, you have prayer, you have resiliency, you have faith, you're a very strong person. So whatever life is throwing at you, whatever the enemy is throwing at you, you got to say to yourself, look, this is tough. I'm telling you, boy, it's tough. It's rough, man. Some days I feel like quitting, but you can't quit. You got to say, I'm tough too. I'm built out of stern stuff. And guess what? God is my shield. I'm going to pray to him, and I'm going to get through this mess. Sometimes, like I said, it's easier said than done, but you can do it. I am a firm believer, and the Bible says God is not going to put more on you than you can stand. So you just got to stand it. I don't know how long you got to stand it, but you just got to buckle down, man up, woman up, put on your big girl panties and big boy underwear, and just pull up and say, hey, I'm going to get through this. Second thing you need to remind yourself too is I can't always control the situation, but I can control how I respond to the situation. Let me say that one more time. You can't control the situation you're in sometimes. Sometimes there's situations that you are not going to be able to control, but what you can control is how you respond to that particular situation. Don't let the situation make you do something that you're going to regret, or make sure that the situation is something that you come to a conclusion that you can't control it. Then you got to find peace. You got to find situation to just say, look, Lord, I can't control this. Just grant me peace. Bridle my tongue. Let me be slow to anger. Let me find a way to peacefully try to resolve this, and give me peace, Lord, before I have a heart attack and die, or I put my hands on somebody, or I do something crazy, or I go off the deep end, or I get emotionally unstable. No. Some situations we can't be able to control, but we can always control how we respond to it. We can do that. So make sure that you do that. Third thing you do to remind yourself when feeling discouraged is say to yourself, I ain't figured this out yet, but I'm going to figure it out. You look at the situation, you think about it, you ponder on it, you go to your quiet place, you driving in your car, you listen to music, whatever you do to stimulate thinking. You say, look, this is tough. I ain't quite figured this out yet, but I'm going to do it. I ain't figured this out. I haven't figured this person out, or I haven't figured this boss out. I haven't figured my husband out. I haven't figured my spouse out. I haven't figured my child out. I haven't figured out how to pay this bill. I haven't figured out this. I haven't figured out that. But I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out a way to do it. I just got to sit down. I got to be calm. I got to pray about it and let God give me the answer. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm going to do it. That's the third thing. Fourth thing is realize that this challenge that you're going through is going to teach you something. God is putting this in your life to teach you something. You just got to have enough patience, have enough understanding to just realize and say, what is God trying to teach me? Is he trying to teach me patience? Is he trying to teach me to be humble? Is he trying to teach me to change my life? He's trying to teach me to be stronger. He's trying to teach me to be more assertive. He's trying to teach me to pull back. You got to figure out what God's trying to teach you. God is not putting us through things just on a whim. He put us through things. He put things in our life to reward us, also sometimes to punish us, and also sometimes to make us strong and say, hey, look, you can do this, but I'm going to have to put this weight on you. I'm going to have to put this weight on your back. You're going to have to carry it. You have to figure out a way to carry it. You're just going to have to figure out, say, look, what is God trying to teach me on this? And if you sit down in a quiet place and you think about it, you pray on it, and you just meditate on it, I think God will reveal the answer of what he's trying to teach you. So listen to what God says to you. The fifth and last thing that you remind yourself when you're feeling discouraged is take one step at a time. Take one step at a time. Take a deep breath and make sure that the next thing you do is the right thing, not the wrong thing, the right thing. A lot of times we'll sit down and do stuff, and with that spite, and with that anger, and with all that kind of stuff, interfere with doing what's best. Just make sure that you take one step at a time, and what you do, you take a deep breath, and you pray on it, and you think about it, and make sure the right thing, the next thing you do is the correct thing, is the right thing, is the righteous thing. Because all it's going to do if you do the wrong thing or the spiteful thing or the thing out of anger is make the situation worse. So you make sure before you do a decision, take a deep breath, you think on it, slow down, don't try to rush stuff, don't try to have a knee-jerk reaction, and just make sure that what you're doing is the right thing, is the correct thing. Not the manly thing, not the Danny thing, not the I'm mad and I feel like I'm being scorned and I feel like I'm getting short in the stick. No, that may be the actual situation you're in, but you always got to pray and ask God to do the right thing. Think before you speak. Think before you act. Make sure what you're doing is right. If make sure what you're doing is right, then you're gonna be all right. Because like everything I said in the past, for every decision we decide to do, whether it's a positive decision, a negative decision, it's going to be a consequence. It's going to be a positive consequence or it's going to be a negative consequence. You make sure that when you do something that is positive, that is righteous, that is pleasing to God, so that consequence and that blessing on the other side of it can be beneficial to you. If not, what you do out of anger, negativity, being mad, whatever the case may be, may only perpetuate the particular situation you're in, and something worse happens around the corner. So let's make sure we don't do that. Last thing on the cover is 1 Kings, the book of 18th and 19th chapter. It talks about an individual named Elijah. And Elijah, I want to make sure I tell you the right thing now. Elijah. Elijah. Elijah was disappointed because God had sent him to tell the kings about there's going to be a drought because whatever they did that was displeasing to God, God sent a drought. He's like, look, I'm going to send this drought. And the reason why I'm sending this drought because I told them to do something and they didn't do it. And basically the kings and the people before them did things that was unpleasing to God, and God sent a drought. And so when God sent Elijah to the king, the king's wife, I can't think of her name, became angry. And she wanted to try to kill Elijah. So Elijah ran for his life and was fearful. But he failed to realize that God was with him. So God wasn't going to let anything happen to him. But he ran for his life, and he was just disappointed. He was discouraged. He's like, God, I'm doing what you tell me to do, and now this is what I'm getting. But God always has a plan. If God is truly in your life and God is truly guiding you to do something, no one can hurt you. No weapon formed against you can hurt you. No door can be closed in your face. No window can be closed. No person can harm you. Whatever they try to do, he's going to have a counter move to that to get you around that problem, get you through that problem, to totally eliminate the problem. But Elijah, at that particular time, didn't have faith. He was following God, and he just felt great disappointment when he went there to tell people why he was sent there, why there was a drought, and I guess the evil queen, the king's queen, I guess she was jealous and didn't want to hear that and felt like um, that their God was better. Because Elijah pretty much told him, he said, look, you put your God, your God, I think the God name was Balaal or something, Baal. He said, you put your God against my God. And what he did was he had a bunch of wood. He said, look, you pray, I'm going to stack up this wood right here, and you pray to your God. I think they prayed 2 or 3 days. The people in that particular part of the land prayed 2 or 3 days to this false god. And the reason why God was punishing them was because of idolatry. And that's worshiping false gods, the idols and stuff. And they prayed to this God 2 or 3 days. Lord, please, come on, Baal, come on, Baal, please, let this wood, light the wood, show them your power. Wood to there 3 days, never got lit. So Elijah, he took the same wood, another stack of wood, put it on the ground, and then he wet it. I mean, he poured water all on it, drenched the wood, and he poured water around the whole place. The whole place where the wood was at, he poured water around there. Then he prayed to God, and boom, God sent down lightning, strike the wet wood, light it on fire. Then he prayed to God again and said, look, need the rain. So God then sent rain, put the fire out, and ended the drought. This angered the queen because she was showed up, and she had built a decree on Elijah to have him killed. But again, Elijah didn't have faith. But he was discouraged because, look, I'm doing what you tell me to do, Lord. I did this. I try to say to people, I show them that you are almighty, and I don't understand why I'm being persecuted and this, and that. But again, he didn't have faith at that particular time, but God was with him the whole time. If God sends you to do something, he's not going to leave you there hanging high and dry. No, he does not do that. He's not that kind of God. So I say all that to say this, that even through being discouraged and you feel like you being left hang out to dry and you feeling like, Lord, why have you forsaken me? Lord hasn't forsaken you. I've always told y'all he does things on his time. Not our time, but his time. And he is always on time. So whenever you are delivered from whatever issue you're going through, that is the right time. Again, it may not be your time. It may not be my time. It may not be your husband's time. It may not be your wife's time. It may not be your child's time. It may not be whatever the situation in your life is. You may think it needs to be done, but it's going to be done on his time, and his time is always the right time. That is my 2 cents on the word discouraged, and I hope that whatever I said today touched you and resonate with you. And I hope that you'll be back tomorrow and join me again. I don't know what the word today for tomorrow is. I haven't looked it up yet. But hey, if y'all have any more words, because I'm running out of words, I want to see. I'm running out of words, and I thought that was impossible, but I've covered a lot of stuff. I want to show you, since I started this project, how many words have I done so far? I keep track of them. And that's 60. Today makes the 69th word I've done. And I have enough words for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more days. So if you have any words that you want me to cover, and I get them all right now. So if you send a repetitive word, then I'll be like, no, I can't do that because I already done it. But I'm trying to get new words, and I'm looking up and reading a lot of stuff. But I just want to make sure it would definitely be cool if it's a particular word that you want me to cover, and I can look it up, research it, and then speak on it. So, like I said, right now this is the 69th word I've done, and I got enough. I got up to 75 more words. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more words. So I got enough to last this week and start Monday. But if you have any words, please text me or email me. Let me give you my email. I'm going to give you my email right here where you can send it to me. This is my email if you're looking. There, I just put it up under me. DannyGrahamSC@gmail.com. DannyGrahamSC@gmail.com. If you want to reach out to me and send me a word, please do. Or if you want to send me a word, put it in the comment box, man. I'll definitely take that word if I haven't already done it, and I will research it and I will speak on it. Again, if this is the first time you ever laying eyes on me, I'm going to ask you to please do a few things for me. First thing I'm going to actually do is please subscribe to the channel. Second thing I'm going to actually do is please hit that notification bell beside the subscribe button because I don't want you to miss any material that I upload in the future. Third thing I'm going to actually do is hit that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. It gets me more prominent place. So when you click word of the word to wisdom or Danny Graham, it instantly will show me on your device YouTube page. Fourth thing I want you to do is leave a comment. If you leave a comment, I will definitely read that comment and I'll respond back to you. Fifth thing I want you to do is, guess what? Watch my video in its entirety from the beginning to the end. And the sixth and last thing I want you to do is share this. Share this video with your friends, with your families, co-workers, anybody that you think will gravitate towards to it and spread the word. My goal is to try to grow this channel, grow my views, and I want to stretch out like a positive virus. That's my job. I want to be a positive virus. And I want to spread this word, God's word, and let people know that, look, we live in a world that's so negative, but just because it's negative, you don't have to be negative. The glass should always be half full from your point of view. From my point of view, it is. In closing, I'm going to say, you need to go to Walmart. You need to go to Shoe Show. You need to go to Foot Locker, Hibbett Sports, whatever, online. I don't know what it is. You get your good pair of walking shoes because guess what? I'm going to keep up this pace on this road, and I ain't going to slow down. So if you want to join me on the road to wisdom, you're welcome to do it, but you got to keep up. So until tomorrow, take it easy. Have a good day and be blessed.